going on, guys? Welcome back to Untitled. I'm Ryan. Today we're going to be going over the Elliott wave count that I have for XLM for stellar. And the main macro count that I want to start out with would be this one right here. So I'm calling this all a primary wave 1 up here, primary wave 2 down here, and this is all an extended third wave. So that we actually just completed the intermediate wave 1 up here, where this wave 5 is in May of 2021. And we're currently coming down for a wave 2. Or we could have completed the wave 2, so we have to wait and see. But basically how I'm going to count this wave 1 is by putting this intermediate wave 1 here, down for the wave 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we get a WXY, which would be a double zigzag for ABC, W wave, ABC, X wave. So this would be ABC, then ABC, Y wave. That will give us this primary wave 2. And this primary, or this intermediate wave 1 would count up as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to get into the subdivisions a little bit later for this section right here, and also for this section right here. But I just wanted to give you guys a brief introduction of what we're looking at as far as this count goes. Now, if we zoom out, then if this is an extended wave 3, we're going to be looking at uber bullish targets for the top of this wave 3 to get the proper wave symmetry between all of these waves. So some upside price targets we could, or some tools we could be looking at would be these ones right here. So I'm going to start out with Fib Channel. So this would be a Fib channel, or rather just a channel taken from the bottom of wave 1 to the top of wave 1, pulled down to the bottom of wave 2. And theoretically, if this is a primary 1, 2, then this primary wave 3 should come in somewhere near the top of this channel. So it could come in right here if we end up, topping out in January of 2023. But if we end up topping out over here, then it could be, very high up, around $200. That would be insane price gains. Now, another target we could be looking at would be this one right here. So this would be a trend-based Fib Extension Tool. So this would be taken from the bottom of this wave 1 to the top of the wave 1 to the bottom of wave 2. And technically for the wave 3, we would be looking at this 1.618 target up here. But that is so high up, this would be $871. I'm going to be a little bit more conservative and probably see it's going to be somewhere between this 1-to-1 and 1.618. Now, if you want to be even more conservative, you could probably say it's going to be around this 1-to-1 or even a little bit below it. But I'm going to, for the sake of this video, I'm going to say it's going to be around the top of this channel between this 1.618 and this 1-to-1, because I just can't see it coming all the way to this 1.618. That would be just astronomical price gains, which I cannot foresee. And then next, instead of pulling the trend-based Fib Extension Tool from the bottom, or rather from the bottom of this wave 1 to the top to the bottom of this wave 2, we're going to do the same thing with this section right here. So assuming this wave 2 is put in right here, then we could do the same thing, the bottom of this wave 1 of a lesser degree to the top to the bottom of the wave 2. And this gives us, for the 1.618, around $42 US, which would be the price target for this intermediate wave 3. Now we could get something like this. We come up for the intermediate wave 3, down, bounce around the channel midline, and then come up to the channel top to top out for this primary wave 3. So those are some price targets we could be looking at to the upside. They're very bullish, so keep that in mind. They may not play out, but just going off Elliott waves strictly, and just going off some tools that I used, for example, the channel. Also, we have this pitchfork we could be using to get some. Maybe to get the top of this, if we get a minor wave 1, this could be the top of minor wave 1, 3, 4, 5, something like that. So keep that in mind. I'm not too confident that we're going to be coming up all the way to $200, but using these tools strictly, that's what, in using the trend-based Fib extension tools, these are the targets that we are given. And keep in mind also, these trend-based Fib extension tools are based on log scale. If you were to go, I can show you guys real quick. If they're not on log scale, then you're going to be getting targets much lower. So this one, for example, all the way up here, instead of $871, we're going to be getting, this would give us about, let's zoom in. So this would be this one right here. Let's hide the other one to make it easier. So we, instead of getting $871, we'd only be getting $1.5 approximately. So I'm using the trend-based Fib extension tool based on log scale because we're on a higher time frame. So keep that in mind. Now I'm going to go over some of the price targets to the downside. So let's hide these tools. Now some downside price targets would be these ones right here. So let's hide these and just go through them individually. First of all, we have this Fib channel pulled from the, rather just a channel once again, pulled from the top of this wave 1 to the bottom of this wave 2 to the top of this intermediate wave 1. And I would be looking for us to bounce somewhere around the midline of this channel if we did happen to come lower. And then the second tool we have is this channel right here. So if this is a zigzag for an A, B, C, then technically the price target for a zigzag would be an A, B, and then a C all the way down to the bottom of this channel. Now that would be another price target to be looking out for, and it wouldn't be too far away from this midline right here. So it could come down like this near the bottom of the channel and also still near the midline of this channel and then come back out. Then another tool we could be looking at would be this fixed range volume profile taken from the beginning of this range right here to the current price action, and we're giving the point of control down here around about 7 cents, which actually lines up perfectly with these monthly levels right here, down here. This would be the bottom of this order block right here. So we're basically given two levels mainly to the downside. For me, that would be this monthly level right here around this midline of this larger channel. And if we fall below that, then I would probably be looking down here around these monthly levels as well as this point of control. So I'm going to make that easier for you guys to visualize. If we come lower, I'm going to be looking anywhere between this box versus the bottom out. Now, if we fall below this box, then I'm going to be looking for us to come all the way down here to these monthly levels down here. Those are the main price targets that I have to the downside. And now let's hide these. No, I was going to show you this. We do have the 1-to-1. So if we're looking for the 1-to-1 A to the top of B, so this would be assuming that C equals A on log scale, then we could be looking for this 1-to-1. That could give us a swing failure pattern trade below this wick right here. So that's another possibility. But mainly I'm going to be looking for it to bottom out between this box here and this box right here. So now let's zoom out. Actually, let's hide these tools and zoom in to show you guys some of these subdivisions on this section right here. So I'm going to hide what we just went over, and let's go ahead and zoom in. All right, so this primary wave 2 was put in right here in the lows of March of 2020. Then counting up for this wave 3, we get a minute 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You guys can look at the subdivisions if you want. It may be possible to put this wave 3 right here, but I think this makes a nice ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a running flat. That's what I did. And then moving up, we get a wave 5 up here for this minor wave 1. Then we get the minor wave 2 down here. Then we can zoom into this section. We get a minuet wave 1, 2, minuet wave 3 here. So this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the subminuet wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Subminuet, or rather minuet wave 4 here. And then minuet wave 5 to complete this minute wave 1. So this was a little bit tricky to count this minute wave 1, but that's how I did it. And then we get this minute wave 2 down here. Then moving on, we get an extended wave 3, 1, 2. Then the wave 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be minuet wave 3, 4, 5 for this minute wave 3. Then coming down for this minute wave 4, we get a WXY. And then moving up, we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for this minute wave 3 to complete this minor wave 3. So this would look like a minuet wave 1, 2 here, 3, 4 for a triangle here, then moving up for the 5 right here. Now I put the minor wave 4 down here for an A, B, C, but this would be a pretty swift wave 4 compared to this wave 2, and also compared to this wave 4 of a lesser degree. It would actually be less, and it would take less time than this wave 4 of a lesser degree. So it's not perfect. You could also put this wave 4 somewhere over here as an A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe for this would be a running flat. But I think for this video, I'm going to put it right here, and this makes a pretty nice expanding diagonal for this wave 5. So this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we can see this wave 1 is shorter than this wave 3, and this wave 3 is shorter than this wave 5, and this wave 2 is shorter than this wave 4. So it's a valid expanding diagonal, which could end this intermediate wave 1 right here. Now moving on to this section right here. I'm counting this all down as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, for a long time, this section right here on a lot of altcoin charts on Bitcoin, I don't know if we can see this on Bitcoin, but on a lot of altcoins, we get this section right here, which I've counted as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down to this low. But I actually think it makes more sense to count this all as a minute wave 3, 4 for a running triangle. So this would be an A, B, C, D, E to complete this wave 4. Because before I was putting this wave 5 all as a, this would all be a diagonal to complete this wave 5. So this would be a 1, 2. I could hide this to show you guys what I was doing, just kind of for educational purposes and show you why I'm not doing it anymore. So I did put this 1, 2 here. Then I believe I was putting this 3, 4 down here, and then turning this all into a diagonal. Now I drew the diagonal as so, saying this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's not a valid contracting diagonal, as I'll show you guys in just a second. Because if this is a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then this wave 3 is longer than this wave 1, and this wave 5 is longer than this wave 3, which would not make it a valid contracting diagonal. So we can't say it's a diagonal, we have to say this would all be a wave 5 down here, and the best way to count this would be putting this wave 3 here, and this wave 4 here, and calling this all a triangle. So this would be an all running triangle, as I just showed you guys in my previous count right here. That's what I did. So I counted down a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into these lows right here. That will give us a wave A. So let's see. Okay, so yep, this would give us a wave A down here. Right here. And we're calling this all a ending diagonal right here for this wave 5, for this mini wave 5 to complete this wave A. Now moving up, we get a WXY. We can't count this as a zigzag because this move here doesn't make it a 5-wave move. So we have to call this a WXY for the Y wave. And we have to call this section right here all a WXY because we also can't really get a nice 5-wave move out of this structure right here. We might have been able to say this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But because this doesn't make a 5-wave move, we have to call this also a 3-wave move to get the W wave. And to do that, we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for this wave A. This would be an A, B, C for the wave B. That for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the wave C. Then moving down, we get an obvious zigzag for an A, B, C. So this would be A down here, B up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like I mentioned to you guys, we get a WXY here because we can't get a 5, 3, 5 out of this move to give us a zigzag. And then moving on to this section right here, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably wondering, what part of this wave C are we in? So I have a few ways of counting it. The main way I'm going to show you guys today, which I'm sure a lot of you guys might disagree with, but it's really the best way I could think of how to count it, would be this right here. So I'm calling this all 1, 2. This would be a very short 1, 2, which is the main downside, the main critique that I have to give to this count. So this would be a minute 1, 2, which compared to these impulse waves of lower degrees, it's actually lower, or rather it's actually smaller than these ones right here. But like I was saying, it's really the best way I could count it. So this would be a minute 1, 2. Then we subdivide this as a minute 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would all be a running triangle for an A, B, C, D, E. For this wave 4, this wave 4 doesn't overlap this wave 1, so it's valid. Then we move down to this wave 5 to complete this minute wave 3. Then we get this minute wave 4, which there's multiple ways you could count it also, but one way you could count it would be saying either this is a barrier triangle, in which case you put the trend line down here, or an A, B, C, D, E, and putting the end of the wave 4 right here. You could also count it as a contracting triangle if you put the end of the wave 4 right here, but if you were to do so, you can't get as nice of a wave 5 move, of a 5-wave move out of this structure right here, unless you call this a truncated wave 5 down here. So assuming this isn't a truncated wave 5 down here, it would make more sense to put the wave 4 right here. Then we could get a nicer 5-wave move, probably a 1, 2. We might be able to get 3, 4 here. But if you were, I would say this is probably more likely a truncated wave 5 here, just because it gives us nicer wave symmetry with this 1, 2. So that's what I'm gonna say. This is a 3, 4 here, and then we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete this wave 5 down here, as well as this wave C. Then off these lows, it looks like we could be in a wave 3 right here, but we could also be in a wave 3, so we have to be a little bit cautious. If we come up to the 1.618, this is a wave 1 here, and we come up to the 1.618, which would be all the way up here around $0.25 or 25 cents, then I would say it's more likely this is a 1, 2, 3. We're gonna come down for the 4, up for the 5. But if we end up rejecting, you know, I would say below this area right here. So basically, it's below the midline between this 1.618 and this 1 to 1. Then it's probably more likely a wave C for A, B, C correction. Now, alternatively, we could also say the wave 1 was complete down here for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be a wave 2, and this is all an extended wave 3. But we're very close to invalidating this count because we're about to come into the price territory of this wave 1. So if this is all 1, 2, 3, 4, this wave 4 cannot overlap this wave 1 unless this is an ABC. And this is an ABC for the second wave, and this is all some sort of larger expanding diagonal for the first wave of this wave 3, which I think is very unlikely. So I would say we could put the wave 1 here. This could be somebody at wave 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 3 could have ended right here, and we have a little bit more wiggle room in this situation. But this move right here does not look very characteristic of a wave 4, so I'm not too inclined to go with this count. I'm more leaning towards the other count that I just showed you guys right here. So I think it's very possible we put in a wave 5 down here. Now we have to be careful. We can't just buy in because obviously we could be in an extension. This could be a wave 1, and this could be an extended wave 3. So we have to wait and see and get a little bit more confirmation, get some more volume off these lows to give us confirmation that this is indeed a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then maybe we could get in a pullback like this. But until we get something like that, I'm not going to be, you know, going all in on a big swing trade or anything like that. But that's basically all I wanted to show you guys today. I'm going to give you guys a brief summary of what I just went over. All right, now to summarize for you guys what I just went over, I'm looking for us to be in a wave 3 extension where we just completed a wave 2, or we're close to completing a wave 2. And then we've yet to come up with this wave 3, 4, 5 to put in this primary wave 3, which is going to be pretty high up here to give us some pretty bullish price targets. And the price targets for this zigzag, if this is an ABC zigzag, are technically a little bit lower, like I showed you guys earlier. So these would be down here a little bit lower, around the 1 to 1, around 11 cents. So we could expect it to come a little bit lower, but I think there is a possibility a 5-wave structure was complete at these lows. So we want to get confirmation that we get a 5-wave impulse off these lows, and we also get increasing volume, because this is indeed going to be a wave 3 of a wave 3. If this count that I just showed you guys is correct, if this is a 1, 2, then this should be a wave 3 of this wave 3, in which case we should get very high volume, and volume should really start picking up pretty soon, and it should do something like this. So that's going to give us pretty good confirmation, especially if we start taking out these highs upon increasing volume. That's probably going to give us good confirmation that this is indeed a wave 3. But until then, we have to wait and see to get some more confirmation. And yeah, that's all I want to go over for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video in the Discord server.